If you're doing music right now and you're putting stuff out and you don't know what an ISNI code is, and you don't know what a grid code is, and you don't know what an ISRC code is and why you need one, if you don't know these things and you're putting music out, you're running a hamster wheel, bro. You ain't going nowhere. It's a hobby. I apologize.
I'm just saying, man. What up, world? It's your boy Trees Trump signing on, screaming, go get the money. Jeez. You know what it is. It's the Hot Seat Podcast right back on, yo. Yeah, man. We in the building right now with my man Chris Star, a.k.a. Steezley, man.
Jeez. What up?
Welcome to the show, my brother.
Hey, man. Pleasure to be here, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, tell them a little bit about yourself, man. What you got going on? You got a lot of titles, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna let you drop the titles.
Well, I'm Chris Starr. I'm the owner of Circle Entertainment LLC. Leading ambassador in admin and administrative services at this point. Everything. The creator of the music business course. And yeah, A&R, producer, writer, singer, songwriter, like everything.
Right, that's
everything music.
It's a renaissance man.
That's it. That's it. Everything music. Yeah.
So we always like to get a little bit about your background. You from Oceanside, California, right?
Right.
So big up the city.
Yeah,
Oceanside, man.
Oceanside born.
Yeah,
you know
man. So tell me a little bit about that.
Oceanside born by way of the 78. Like, I wouldn't necessarily claim one city. We all know, well, hopefully the viewers out there, they know, there's 4 cities out there: Escondido, San Marcos, Vista, and Oceanside. Like, that was literally the stomping grounds back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot of OG spots out there that we pretty much grew up in. You know what I'm saying? Like the Distillery.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Or the
Ice House.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
A lot of people, that was our social media when we were kids, you know? We would go there to kind of tap into what was going on, whether it was clothing-wise or music-wise or whatever. Shout out DJ Dizzy D and, all the people from, back in the Gap, man. And, yeah, man, that was it. That's where I'm from.
So, being from Oceanside, man, like, what was it that got you jump started into music? Like, was there something influenced by the city or?
No, you know what? Like, music has always been like a part of my life. Like, as far as like my mom, she sang in a choir all her life. You know what I mean? So it was only natural that we would go to like choir rehearsals and stuff like that, and then it got to a point where it was like, I don't want to just sing Christian music. Like, I started like...
What church you go to?
Oh, man, I went to all of them.
I used to go to Friendly Church of God in Christ, man. Big up all my friendly family. You know what I mean? But it was Shiloh, where we had Shiloh. Bible. Yeah, True. Okay. There was a couple of them.
I went to True Bible. Then we went to the mega church that they built out there.
Okay.
That was in Vista.
Okay.
It was over by Breeze Hill. Okay. We went to that one. We went to, and it was called New Venture.
New Venture, yeah. Okay.
So I went to that church, and Mom's just kept me in the church. She tried to keep me out the streets and away from all that stuff. But it was like I was really musically inclined, but church was kind of like, hey, you sing about God and only God, and don't be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in my spare time, I would like start writing. I actually started writing when I was like real young, like 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I was writing like little love songs, puppy love songs, stuff like that. And I was singing. I wasn't rapping. I was heavily influenced by hip hop, but I was an R&B singer. Like Usher is my favorite artist of all time. I don't care what nobody says. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like, you know, I was heavily influenced by like people like Brandy, Monica, and you know what I'm saying, Next, and 112s, and you know what I'm saying, Boys to Men, and Michael Jackson, Prince, and all that. So I wanted to learn how they structured music. So I started really young, like structuring music in that way, like chorus or an intro to a verse to a chorus to another verse to a bridge to a chorus, and then.
So how old were you when you feel like you wrote your full, like your first real song?
12.
12 years old.
12 years old, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
you know the title of it? What was the name of it?
Got my attention.
Got My Attention?
Yeah. Man.
Okay, see, he still remembers.
Got my attention. I know every word of that song. And it was crazy because, like, I would just write little kiddie stuff, you know? And over the years, as I progressed with my voice, I would rewrite the songs to be, you know, up to standard, like up to the year. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I ended up landing a deal with an independent record label called True City out of New York.
Okay.
And but that comes well later. Like
what like how much later? Like you were 12
like,
and then
I was 12 when I started writing songs. And then I was working for a company named Centura Creations, and I was selling cologne in like parking lots. Like
I did the cologne festival.
You feel me?
Yeah, that's
like,
crazy.
Yeah. So like,
I definitely did that though. I ain't gonna lie.
I was like 16 at the time, and my whole thing was I could sing, so I would use different things about me to get like cologne sold.
Yeah.
So I'd walk up to ladies and I'd be singing to them.
Yeah.
And then I would convince them that their man deserved some cologne. You know what I'm saying? So and then they would hit me with the, oh well, you know, just because you were singing, I'm gonna buy a bottle. I don't got no man, but
right.
But you know what I'm saying? So that's how I would sell cologne. And then I was walking through the parking lot one day in Nuevo, and I ran into a woman. Her name was Sylvia, right? Sylvia Bennett. And I didn't have, you know, this is pre-internet, pre-everything.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right. No social media, no
none of that. So I had no clue who this woman was, right? And so she ends up, hey, I want you to meet my husband and this and that. So I'm like, all right, cool, you know. So I went back home, told my mom, you know, this lady, she wants me to meet her husband. She's really big in the music industry. She's like, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we called them, and we set up a meeting to go over there. We went to their house, and when we walked in, it was like, bro, it was a freaking mansion, bro. Like, I never seen a house like this. Like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, this is a trip. You know what I'm saying? So then we walked in, and she introduces me to Mark Bennett. And Mark, so just to give you some accolades, I mean, we're talking Christina Aguilera, we're talking Pink, like the black version of Pink. No.
Right.
Like, we're talking, you know, Destiny's Child, we're talking like Mark and Sylvia Bennett, like high ups, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, damn, like, so they helped me hone my writing skills. Like, they really helped me get in the studio, record music. The process of it. Hey, sing this song like this. Boom, punch in right here. Boom. Okay, just say this one line. Boom. You know, so that's when I got my feet wet and I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. You know what I'm saying?
And that was at 16?
16.
That's wild.
16. And so, of course, I'm going back to school telling everybody, I'm over here with wham wham. And
yeah.
People are looking at me like, bro, then why are you still going to school here? Like,
right.
It's like, dang, bro, like, if you could see what I saw and you could be where I'm at, you know? So all of a sudden, 17, I graduated high school. And I had been writing, I had been putting out little CDs for people at school and stuff like that. And one of my boys, he ends up going to New York. And he met some people out there that had an independent record label called True City. So all of a sudden, I'm on the phone. And he's like, yo, I'm going to bring some people to your house. You know what I'm saying? They want to come. They want to see you. I didn't know that they were talent scouting. I didn't know that they were A&Rs for their own label. So they come out, and Blondie Love and Angel Fonseca ends up walking into my house. And
wow.
I'm a 17-year-old kid, so I'm, I got braids and I'm dancing. I'm doing all kinds of stuff. But they traveled from New York to come out and to meet me. And they were like, yo, we got this independent label. It's nothing major, but, we'd love to have you on board. You know what I'm saying? And do you have songs that you've written? And the first song that popped up was Got My Attention, because I had written that when I was 12, but you know what I'm saying? So I
perfected it.
Yeah, I done perfected it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got this song, da-da-da. So they were like, all right, cool, we want you in New York, like, as soon as possible. So they flew me out to New York, and I got to go and do show. I did show at Club Mingles. I went on 40 Deuce, like, at Times Square, and you know what I'm saying? Like,
that's wild,
all
bro.
kinds of stuff. And who's out there at this time? Chris Brown's out there at this time. You got ASAP Mob members before they were ASAP. Like, they out there doing stuff in Harlem. And I'm staying in the Bronx, and then we go to Harlem, and then we went to, so I'm running into all these people before they're anybody's. Like, they're nobodies at this point.
Right.
And then, so it was cool. It was cool. It was a real good experience. And then I came home, and it just stopped. It was like the momentum was there, everything was booming, but then it just stopped. And I was like, I gotta keep this going.
Right.
So then I started reaching out to locals. I started going to people like Namis One. He had a studio in Escondido. Yeah. So we would go over to the YMCA, and he would hook kids up with you feel me? Like, shout out Namis One, you know what I'm saying? But,
for sure.
You feel me? And so we'd go to him, and we'd book studio time there. And then I started reaching out to like Frankie Fadeless. He lived in the same apartment complex as me.
Okay.
And he had like a underground hip hop crew. Now I'm 17 years old, going into bars and clubs, Tropics.
Right.
We're going to the
Thursday night Tropics.
Vista Entertainment Center. The club that was up at the top. Like, I'm in these clubs. I'm 17 years old, but I get to perform with these dudes. Yeah. So they have me at the Cowshed and all these different like spots and venues that they were performing at. So imagine me, I'm just a kid in a candy store. You need a drink? I'm like, can I do that? So I just kept fine-tuning my craft. I'm writing these songs, I'm doing shows, I'm all over the place. And I ain't no, super spectacular artist at this time. Like, I'm really learning. So I just know how to grab a microphone, get up here and perform. You know what I mean? And then I started noticing that some of the people that I was performing with would start getting paid. Like, they were getting money. And they're counting money after the shows. Yeah. And I'm sitting there like, bro, why was I selling tickets and y'all counting money? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Right. What is going on?
Feel like I'm doing the legwork.
Right. Like, well, not so much, but it definitely was like an eye-opener. Like, how do I get paid for this? Right. You know what I'm saying? So I ran into that early, but it still would take me a very long time before I got to a point where I was actually getting paid.
But that's what sparked your interest about the business side of it.
Business, yeah. So the whole time I was like, I just need a distributor. I need a distribution deal. I need to get with the record label. I need to do this. I need to do that. When come to find out, that's not what you needed to do at all. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, I just realized that it was going. We had a show at Deco's before Deco's closed down. And this show is actually still on YouTube.
Shout out San Diego.
Right?
Oh, for real? Hey, look it up. Run that up.
Chris Star at Deco's, right? And it's on YouTube. But we had a show at Deco's and we opened for Gorilla Zoe.
Yeah.
Right? And so this is when he was knocking, like, all the girls jogging. We steady knocking.
You little girl got the whole thing rocking.
Hey! So we was on, like, I was like, okay, bro, we this is it. Like, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna show this promoter. We know what we're doing. We're gonna get the promoter under our belt. We're gonna start touring. We're gonna start doing all this, that, and the third. And so the promoter did what? Gave us 100 tickets. He was like, you sell these 100 tickets, you get 15 minutes on stage. What?
Not doing it.
You feel me? Like, all right. This was I told my crew, I was like, yo, and shout out to Dub, because he knows. Dwight. Dwight White. We'll get to him later. But me and Doug were talking to each other, and he was like, Chris, bro, you're too talented to be selling these tickets and doing all this stuff. Like, you need a manager, you need this, you need that. He said, I'm getting out of the military, and I'm gonna build a record label, and I'm gonna build a studio, and I'm gonna build all these things. And I said, oh, really? How long did you do in the military? He said, I did 4 years. I said, word? He said, hey, bro, put me on. Like, how did you go about doing this? And that was the first time he got into my ear. He was just like, look, man, like, you can do this, you can do that, you know what I'm saying? And you can go do your years or whatever, and then it might turn into a career, you never know. So I was like, all right, cool, let's do this. So I ran the play. I took off from music, and I ran the play. I went to the military, 2010, 2014, right? And then when I got out of the military, based off of the game he gave me, he was like, you can go, you'll get a free education out of this. And I was like, that's the only thing I need. Right. I need to be educated. Right. I need to know how this business works. Right. So I'm not getting on stages, I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting used for my writing ability. I kept all those things that I was running into, I need to figure this out. Right? So I got out of the military, came home, started looking for schools immediately, because now I got a free education. Now I can go, they'll pay me to go to school, and I'm going to get my education. Yeah. So I went to the Art Institute of San Diego. Okay. And I enrolled there, and I wanted to be in the music program. But I was a knucklehead when I was a kid, so my GPA was too low. So they were like, you got to get in and you got to bring your GPA up. Then you can transfer over to the music department or whatever, the music, the music courses and all that. So I was like, all right, cool. Well, just make sure that my focus is business. Because if anything else, I need to know business. I need to know how to fill out a contract. I need to know what SEO is, what analytics are. I need to know all these different things because they all tie into music. Right. So I was supposed to transfer into the music courses and all that in my second term there. I messed around and went through the whole 11. Got to the end, got a degree on accident. Hey, shout out to the accidental degrees though. The accident. We're not mad at those. I did the whole. Big salute, my man got a degree. Hey, stop playing. Got a bachelor's degree in graphic design and web design with business focus, and I learned all that. And then once I got done, I still had time left, and I was like, you know what? I still want to do the music course. So I went back to the school to do the music course, and because I only had to do 6 terms. And in my 5th term, the school shut down. Oh, wow. None of the credits transferred except for my core classes. So here we are again. I'm at another brick wall where I'm trying to do something in music, and then it just shut off. Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not going to stop here. So I ended up going back to school at the LA Film School this time. And this time I got all the way through the degree. You feel me? Okay. So I linked up with a lot of my professors. Ron Franklin, shout out to Ron Franklin. Jason was one of my professors over at the LA Film School. Okay. And once I got there, I was a straight A student because I knew everything. Even my professors were calling me like, hey man, like, what are you doing in school? You know? And I'm just like, hey, you know, like, I just have more questions. I know the artist side. I know how to make music. I know how to, the circle of fifths and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know how to compose, arrange, record, mix, master, all that stuff. That's the technical stuff. But I don't know how to track this music. I don't know how to put this music in commercials and television, how to pitch for sync licensing, how to publish my records properly. I don't know these things, and I don't want to have to depend on anyone else. So my professors came together with me and helped me design a course that I understood because I have a different learning. I'm a audio learner. you know? So I have a different type of learning thing. So, and that's key too. A lot of people have different learning styles.
Right.
So you have to learn what your learning style is.
Yeah.
Right, you're either hands-on, you're auditory, or you're a brain, which you can retain knowledge. Me, I'm a hands-on and auditory person.
Right.
But if you gave me a book, I'm sorry, big dog, I'm gonna fail. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to learn your learning style, and I think I did that in that process. And then ultimately, once I graduated from the LA Film School, all of a sudden, you know, I'm still doing shows. I'm starting to book shows again. I'm starting to perform again and do all this stuff. And then the pandemic hit, you know. End of 2019, my grandmother, God rest her soul, she passed away at the end of 2019. And 2 months later, the whole country shut down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yo, that was crazy too. The panny,
the panty, bro. So I'm sitting here and I'm like, dang, like, what am I gonna do? Like, I can't perform. There's no shows. Like, I can't. There's a couple different spots that I was performing at that I was a regular that now they're not even open.
Right.
So now you're not even progressing in music like you wanted to. And we're still putting out music under like United Masters or whatever, and we're getting chump change because the streams aren't up, the views aren't up, this, that, and the third. I'm still trying to figure this out, right?
So is this when you ran into Mr. Fab?
So not yet.
Okay.
So ultimately, what ends up happening is I started going on. Clubhouse came out.
Oh yeah.
Right? So Clubhouse came out, and I think at the end of 2019 or in 2020 or something like that. But once Clubhouse came out, I was still doing research. I was still hitting up Jason. I was still talking to Ron Franklin. I was still kind of refining this whole deal with music business, and I needed to know that it worked. So everything that we were coming up with, hey, first and foremost, you need an LLC. I started my record label in 2019, Seven Circle
Entertainment.
Right.
Okay.
So I started in 2019. Then I was like, okay. So the smartest thing somebody ever told me was plan backwards. Right? How many royalties can we receive off of one song? There's 8. Who are the companies that take care of those royalties? Who are the companies that acquire those royalties for you? Okay. How can you develop a relationship with those companies in order for them to collect on your behalf? Plan backwards, right? So I started doing that. I started looking into everything, and I started coming up with ISNI codes and IFB code / grid codes. I started coming up with ISRC codes and what they're meant for, and I started coming up with ISWC codes and what they're meant for, and DPID and the DDEX system, and all these different things. Merlin licenses, sync licensing. Who collects that for you? The difference between Harry Fox Agency, the MLC, and music reports, and at the time, Songdex. And how can I monetize my music across all social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, all those things, right? So I started coming up with all these different things, and then it just kind of fell in place as like Tetris. So then I was like, okay, well now I gotta try it for myself, right? I need to make sure this works, because I'm not gonna open my mouth unless I can prove that what I'm doing actually works, right?
Right.
So I put out a single called The Hard Way. I put out another single called Bugged Out. And then I sold the song to Nicholas Malfatone, shout out Nick, called True, right? And I wanted to make sure that I could, using my method, I could get paid. All I needed to do was make $1. $1. And I could say it worked.
Yeah.
Because then, now it's just marketing. If I shovel marketing behind it, then I can increase those dollars. And then I started getting phantom checks. I got a check from over here. I got a check from over here. Hey, folks sent me a check for a sync license. I got a check from over here. I got a check. And then I'm like, oh, this really works.
Yeah.
This works. So then I got on Clubhouse and I started popping it. Hey, I could teach y'all how to make 21 checks off of one song. And people were like, what? And then I ran into a woman named Harlem. Shout out Harlem's first lady. I ran into her on Clubhouse. And she was in a huge build. There was like 600 people in there. And then we just started talking music business. Know what your codes are. What is this used for? We're not just gonna go over what you need. We're gonna teach you why you need it. So I started out doing my business course for free on Clubhouse. And then after that, we ran into Peter from DistroKid.
Oh, this right here is the situation.
That's right, yeah. So
okay, talk to me about this, man.
So
talk to me about this.
As we're doing our Clubhouse builds and we're doing all of our stuff, we run into Peter and he's talking to everybody, right? And he's just basically saying how, DistroKid's like the best platform and this is what we do for y'all. And the room grew to about 3,500 people, right? And we're in the room, me and Harlem's, and we got Peter up top and we all got green beans, right? And we're kind of controlling the room. And we're just asking them questions. And then it came to the ISRC code. So in my research with my professors, the ISRC code is the International Standard Recording Code, right? It's a code that was created to signify the rights owner of a work. So if you own that code, you have a 2-digit country code at the beginning. So America is QZ. Then you have a 3-digit registrant code, which is registered to you. Right. So mine is PPT. And if you want to use it, go ahead, because then your music will be mine. That's why I can give this code out.
Right. I was like, what are you giving the code out?
Okay. So QZPPT is mine, and then the last 2 digits of the year, and then the correlation of the work. So the last 2 digits of the year would be 23, and then if this is my first record, then it would be 00001. That's my ISRC code. So if you see that code on any song, it comes back to me. So I asked Peter, I said,
so you're welcome to use it, like he said.
You're welcome to use it. Right? So I asked Peter, I said, what's the ISRC code? And then we looked at his FAQ on DistroKid and it said, the ISRC code, this is, quote me, the ISRC code is used for things and stuff. We will worry about that. You worry about your music. So I grilled him and I said, yo, Peter, if the ISRC code was created to signify the rights owner of a work, when you give someone an ISRC code from your company, what are you saying to the rest of the world? That you're the rights owner.
They're wrong, yeah.
Because that's the reason why it was created, right?
Wow.
Okay, so then he goes on to say, well, I purchased them and I give them out and I promise you they're not used for what you think they're used for and all this other stuff. And then all of a sudden, Meezy came in, a dude named Meezy came in, he's like, shut up! And he shut down the whole building. So if we would have got him to respond, then that possibly could have been the end of DistroKid. Right? But because he didn't respond to that, and the room was shut down, we didn't get that.
And the room was shut down because you had so many people in there.
There were so many people in there who was like, yo, Peter, we got some explaining to do.
Yeah, we want to ask you.
And he didn't know. They asked him what the ISRC. He said, I don't know it. I just know that I buy them every year. And I put them on people's records so that they can be tracked. And da-da-da-da. Well,
So let's get messy real quick, man. So do you think he knew, though? Do you think he knew what that code meant?
I think that people around him knew.
Okay.
I think that people around him knew and they just didn't inform him.
Do you think they were encouraging him to buy those every year, though?
I think that they were encouraging him to just proceed.
And he was benefiting from it.
And he was cool with that. Why? Because he considers his company to be a file transfer service. Okay. So all he does is take files from one place, go through him, and put them in another place. And then when the royalties come in, he takes those royalties and gives them back to you so you can track whatever's going on. I'm not going to say he's illegitimate. Right?
Right.
But what I am going to say is...
I'm just saying.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm not, shout out to all those who use DistroKid and CD Baby and TuneCore and all that other stuff who have no idea about the business. Be careful. You know what I mean?
If you don't want somebody dancing all around in your video,
you feel me?
And giving you illegitimate codes, man, come down to 7 Circle.
Right.
Come down to 7 Circle Entertainment.
So be careful. So then after that is when we started getting momentum. That's when people were like, yo, what you're teaching is gems. We need those. Yeah. Especially as a culture, we need to be more educated on what's going on.
Because a lot of people are talented and they can make the music, but they don't understand the business about it.
So that's when I started shifting my gears towards business. And I was like, okay, well, let me refine this. Let me make it into a course so that I can teach it personally. And I'll start off with 20 students at a time. I'll teach it for $500 once a month. And I'll get all of my clients from Clubhouse. Right? Because there's a lot of people in there who are interested in it. So I started offering the course out. And it took off like hotcakes, bro. It blew up. You know what I'm saying? So through me teaching the course and educating my people, I ran into Duckman and Bad Boy Nation.
Duckman 907.
Yes, sir. Duckman.
Bad Boy Nation.
Bad Boy Nation. Right.
Executive era.
Right.
Okay. So, let's talk that.
So this is pre-executive era. Duck ends up coming to me and he's like, yo, I need to know. Like, I'm doing this music stuff. It's really going good for me and I want to learn the business. So I got with them and they took the course. And once they took the course, then they started introducing me to people. And this is where Mr. Fab comes in. This is where, Dose Stacks and, everything that's going on over there. This is where executive era comes into play.
Okay.
Because they wanted to start a record label, but the traditional way of starting a record label meant that they would have to go to a label and they'd have to find some people there and they'd have to do this. They didn't know that you could have it all in-house. So we set up a meeting and we sat down and we started talking about it and it just came out. They were like, I thought that they wanted to be taught. Like, hey, we want you to, train our people and da-da-da. Because that's what I was doing at the time. They pushed all that to the side and was like, we want you to do it. And I was like, for real?
Right.
Let's talk. You know what I'm saying?
Me?
Yeah, because I wasn't even in that lane yet. Like, I wasn't thinking, like, maybe I'll just do this for people. It was just like, this is something that I know, and I'll give it to you because I stand on it. You cannot tell me that I'm wrong. You can't prove to me that I'm wrong. Right? So, therefore, all the knowledge that I'm giving you, even in my course, I give 100% money back guarantee. The minute you felt like you didn't get it, or it wasn't for you, all you had to do was send me a message, I'll send you your money back. That's it. And so they were like, well, let's get it. So then they start putting me through the grinder. They had me come in and they had me talk to a few different people who were kind of up there in the industry. And I ended up linking up with a longtime friend, but we had never done business together. His name was Jazzy. And, he manages people like Lady Ray, and she manages,
rock stuff with my folk. Look. Rock on with your
real West Coast pioneer.
Yeah.
So I ended up getting with Jazzy. He rocked with Glasses Malone a lot. Shout out Glasses. And he rocked with a lot of different people. So I ended up coming in, and I knew him from previous because I was doing shows in LA, and I'd see him, along the Chitlin circuit and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I sat down, we're in the house, we're talking, and he's like, so show, Doe is looking at Jazzy, like, Jazzy, let me know if he's, on it. You know what I'm saying? And Jazzy does a lot of admin, he does a lot of things, he's on a lot of panels. Jazzy knows his stuff, right? So I came in and I'm pulling things up. Yeah. So if you want, copyrights, this is where we go to get our copyrights. Publishing, this is where we go. Distribution, this is how we set up our own distribution source. And this is how we do our metadata. And these are the codes we need. And da-da-da-da. By the time I got to the end, Jazzy was like, you're dangerous. He was like, you're dangerous. And Doe and them was looking at him like, dude, so he was like, man. He was like,
welcome to the team.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was like, hey, you're good money. So from there, it was like, let's stand up executive era. And Chris, you and Jazzy are at the helm. So that's what we did. We stood up executive era. We created executive era distribution. We created all their publishing portals, all their distribution portals, metadata portal, everything, all the back office, everything. And still to this day, we're using that as a launch pad for any artist that comes to us that wants to be treated fair. And so
that could be you.
Could be you. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Duckman 907.
Straight up. So
Bad Boy Nation.
Yeah, so Bad Boy Nation was the first on Executive Era's distribution label.
Okay.
And the Executive Era is a full label, but we have subsidiaries as well. So we can bring on record labels. We can push full companies. We have access to over 260 plus DSPs. Like, we could do anything. We can give out publishing deals. We can give out distribution deals. We can give out anything, top to bottom. We can do it all, right? And so we brought on Bad Boy Nation. Obviously, it was an obvious choice because, we wanted to kind of get them away from the traditional and put them in a lane all their own. That was 100% independent, ran off of them. And now our second release is coming out. Off the Grid 2 already came out last month on the 17th, and it's doing phenomenal. We've got music videos to every song on the project. Off the Grid 2 comes out April 7th.
Okay.
2.5.
2.5.
Yes. Off the Grid 2.5, the deluxe edition.
Deluxe.
This is 13 new tracks.
Fire.
All music videos done, everything done for this record. And I honestly, Duckman is next up, bro. Like, with the love he's getting from everybody is tapping in with Duckman. Okay. And so, Bad Boy Nation.
So if you ain't tapping with Duckman 907, man, stop playing.
On all platforms, that's my dog. I ride for everything he's doing. He's just a phenomenal artist. And what he's got coming up, bro, man, he's something to pay attention to for real. So, and I'm privileged, I'm honored and privileged to be able to work with the Bad Boy Nation camp and alongside Executive Era and really put on for these guys because a lot of the stuff that I'm doing for them came from personal experience in my life. You know what I mean? And just to see it actually working like cogwheels.
Do it forward,
The machine is working and everything's working. We've got our analytics set up. We've got the numbers are coming in. We've got tours setting up. We've got all kinds of things, and it's just really, it's a snowball effect, Once it starts taking off, it starts going. Shout out Doug Aura and all the other people who took my course. Like, I have on Instagram, once you take my course, I add you to the alumni. Because what I want to do is I want to build a whole new record industry of individuals who are fully capable and educated so that we can do business with each other. See, a lot of times, I ran into a person one time and he said, it was a white guy. And he was like, I pulled out $1 or something. I was paying for something. And he was like, you'll never see this dollar again. You know what I mean? And I think I heard another similar story where somebody said that. But I heard a dude tell me that. And I didn't know what he meant by that. Like, what do you mean? You'll never see $1 again. What are you talking about?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I'm getting money over here.
Yeah. But what I didn't understand is that $1 is going to circulate in his community. right? So it's gonna go from his hands to another person's hands who look like him, to another person's business who look like them, and it's gonna keep circulating. So in the music industry, I wanted to create a music community where money transfers left and right. It doesn't go outside of the circle. You feel me? And the only way to do that, is to make sure that our people, music people, doesn't matter, black, white, Asian, Caucasian, whatever, right? To make sure that our people were educated. So that way we could do business together.
So you need to tap into this business course. I don't even do music, but I feel like I need to sign up. You know what I mean? I need to know what you know.
Think about it. Think about all the transgressions that I went through as an artist, doing shows, doing this, doing that. I mean, when I was in the military, I had this song called My Prayer that I would play on the guitar. And I wanted to go to the Army Soldier Show. If you know anything about the military, they have a group of soldiers that just travels around and performs for the morale of the troops, right? So I was like, I went to my first sergeant. I was like, hey, I'd love to go to the Army Soldier Show. Like, this would be cool to do. And he was like, all right, we'll send it up to the sergeant major and we'll see if you can go. And so I went up to the sergeant major and he was like, you think, this is super country dude, you think we can sing and da. And I'm looking at him like, you have no idea, sir. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's like, all right, well, he hands me a eulogy, right? And I'll never forget her name. It was Amy Renee Sinclair, rest in peace. And she had passed away overseas. She died in combat. And he was like, you think you're big stuff, right? Go home, write me a song, and bring it back and perform that song for me. Because her funeral's coming, and, I want to see if we can really do this for her. I said, give me 15 minutes and acoustic guitar. He said, excuse me? You know what I'm saying?
Like, what?
Yeah, so I go and I get the acoustic guitar, and I start playing for him, and before I knew it, he was crying, and he was woo-wooing, like sobbing. The entire office, and my girl Lily, she was there. Shout out Lily, but they ran and got me an acoustic guitar, and I played the song for him. And then right after that, he was like, I don't know if I want to let you go to the soldier show. I want you to perform this for me, for the families, because it's such a powerful song. So I was like, all right, cool. So I'm gonna pull something up for you. Right here. So then I did it.
Oh wow, that's you, huh?
I did it. There it is, right there, Amy Renee Sinclair.
Wow.
And so I did it, and then from there,
crazy.
Right, he had me performing at every memorial service from 2012 all the way to 2014. You feel me? To the time I got out.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? He had me go everywhere. I'm talking Sitka, Alaska Day Parade. He had me performing I got so many medals and honors and all these different things. And so when I got out, I was already... I'm
killing them.
Yeah,
I've been traveling already. I'm already on the road.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So once I touched down, but again, that was another situation where I was used for my talent. And it wasn't put to use in a way that I could benefit off of it or profit off of it. It was used to call and soothe other people, which I'm not glad for that, glad about that. But at the same token, all he had to do was sign a piece of paper.
You think that was part of paying your dues, though?
Probably, maybe.
Because everybody in music, they're like, you got to pay your dues, you got to do the legwork. So
I was doing mad free shows. Free. Like, I'm not getting nothing. I'm getting pats on the back. I'm going home. You know what I'm saying?
Going home riding that line like, I was killing it tonight. So let's talk a little bit about the Thank God I Made It tour. You said Benny the Butcher. Hey, any Benny the Butcher fans, tap in, man. Thank God I Made It tour is on the way.
Yeah.
We do got a possible
Yeah, so,
Duckman,
yeah, possibly,
907
yeah.
situation going on.
Yeah,
there.
so I've been talking
But
to
give us
him.
some information about the tour, man, and how that's going.
So, honestly, my boy Dos Stacks, him and the camp is real close. And Duck was just mentioning to me that, he might have an opportunity to be on that tour. So we're keeping our fingers crossed and we're praying that, we can get him going. I mean, because it's going to be a crazy look. I mean, they're starting out in Baltimore. They're going to Germany. They're going to all these different places. It's a huge opportunity. Yeah. So everybody out there, please pray for the boy.
Praise up.
Pray for
prayers up. Prayers up.
And shout out to everybody we're connected to that is kind of enabling that situation to happen. It just kind of came together organically, and it's really cool to know that Doug, really has that opportunity, man.
Yeah, that's fire.
It's really cool, and it's cool because it's crazy because man, New Year's, man, I brought in the New Year's with Mr. Fab, Unk, Maserati Ricky, Dope Stacks, Duckman, FMBDZ, and Benny the Butcher.
Man,
you know what I'm saying? Popping bottles with them and having, you know what I mean? It's just being a part of that family and being, it's nothing but honorable, man. And I appreciate them for even giving me an opportunity to come in and do what I do because, I've been through so much that just getting to that point where you sit down and you around Maybachs and you around, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You got to be an honorable person to even be in that type of situation. So I just, I count it all joy, man. But we're really, really gunning for Duck to, make an appearance and do his thing.
Yeah, that'll be fire.
Yeah, man.
That'll be fire. So as far as the business course, man, tell young artists, musicians, how they could tap in and be a part of that course and get that knowledge that you're trying to share with them, man, so that they're not being taken advantage of in this music industry because it's tough out here for them.
Yeah, definitely. So I started off my music course by, I was charging $500 a student and I was only taking 20 students a month. Mm-hmm. And, after seeing the success of the course and the different people who've taken it, now, yesterday, like Fat Joe said, yesterday's price ain't today's price. So now the business course is still run by me personally. And you can, per student, it's $2,500 per student. It's a 3-day course. I teach it personally. I don't have a video recordings or none of that. I literally open up the portals and I teach you how to use those portals, how to maneuver and use them correctly, right? And how to just build a relationship with them, the companies that house those portals. Not only that, but I teach you how to get all your codes, where to go to get them. I walk you through it, step by step. I created the course to be step by step so that we can, just basically do everything without missing a step, dot your I's, cross your T's. Yeah. And so it's $2,500. So it's $2,500 a student, and then some people, like I said, they just have different ways of learning. Right. So some people just don't want to learn; they just want to stay artists. And it's like, hey, can you come in? Can you do this for me? I mean, we kind of saw that with the Executive Era situation, where it was like, hey, we don't want nobody else. We don't want you to train nobody. We want you to do it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I accounted for that. So, in essence, if you want me to do that, build it for you, it's $5,000. And if you want me to run it for you, then it's $5,000 a month for a year contract. So we locked it in for a whole year. Right. And we get it cracking. You know what I mean? Take it to another level.
I'm in the wrong business, man. I need to start teaching me some courses, man. I see what you're doing, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But that's the thing, again, I don't want people to focus on the money because it's not about the money.
It's about the knowledge.
Building the infrastructure and giving the knowledge. Do you know that knowledge will take you to another level? It can make you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you paying $2,500
There's a small, slight investment.
Very small, because this is something you'll know for the rest of your life.
Yep.
You know, and once you get it down, who's to say you can't? Listen, there's so many artists out there who don't know, who are not privy to the knowledge. You could end up, I could teach you right now. That's where 7 Circle comes from, right? The 7 circles of life. 0 to 5, circle number 1, you're sponging, right? Elementary school, you're sponging. You got to learn from your teachers how to raise your hand, your ABCs, 1 plus 2, 2 plus 5, whatever, right? Then the 3rd circle is middle school. 4th circle is high school. 5th circle is pinnacle. Either you go the business route or you go the learning route. You stay in education, right? And the 6th circle is based off of that decision. So there's 2 different paths there. But they all end up being at the 7th. And that's when the student becomes the teacher.
That's when you become the master.
That's when you become the master. That's when you can teach somebody else. Now I can put myself into you.
Yes.
And I can make you the exact same thing that I am. Right? So that's why I call it 7 Circle Entertainment, because I'm a master of my ability.
Oh, you just killed that right there, though. I gotta give it to you, man. I was like, 7 Circle, what is all that about?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm a master of my ability, and I can recreate myself.
Okay.
And anyone. And I've broken it down to a science that's so easy to learn that you're not gonna come over here and leave puzzled.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And then after you graduate from the course, we add you into the alumni. Well, this is 275 other people who have taken this course, who are in the same boat as you. I'm talking Dove Aura and Dave East and all those guys in the East Coast. I'm talking OSM from Chicago. I'm talking Bad Boy Nation from Alaska. I'm talking Executive Era and Dope Stacks over here in LA. And you see where I'm going? Like, there's so many people. It
creates a whole new network.
It's a whole new network of people. You know what I mean? I got my people out in Las Vegas, Nicholas Malfitone, and what they got going on out there. I got other people, I taught so many students from LA. And you know what I mean? So it's just like so many different people. Umbrella Corporation, not Umbrella Corporation, I'm sorry. Umbrella something. It's Umbrella. But
under my umbrella.
But the Umbrella Company, Umbrella Records, and I taught them. They're out of Florida, and I did some work with Lord Lucian, who is one of Denzel Curry's producers and best friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I actually landed on that album, track number 11 on the U album. With Denzel Curry, Anna Wise, J.K. the Reaper, all those people. My name is on there. Tap in. I'm track number 11.
Let's get your acts, man. Give them all your acts, how we can stay tapped in with you, man.
So
stay connected, get a part of that course.
Yeah, at LL Steezley, at LLSteezley on all platforms, all social media.
We'll drop that below.
At LLSteezley on all platforms. DM me, tap in. I'm not hard to find. You can Google me. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Tap in, call. Hey, bro, I'm trying to take the course. I want to learn this, that, and the third. Come correct, though. I don't like wasting people's time, and I'm not going to waste yours. Like, I don't like playing with people's money. I don't like none of that. Like, come correct. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to learn, and you want to get out of the rat race, you want to get off the hamster, because it is a hamster wheel. I want you to know that. Right? If you're doing music right now and you're putting stuff out and you don't know what an ISNI code is, and you don't know what a grid code is, and you don't know what an ISRC code is and why you need one. If you don't know these things and you're putting music out, you're running a hamster wheel, bro. You ain't going nowhere. It's a hobby. I apologize.
I'm just saying, man, it's the Hot Seat Podcast.
It's a hobby.
We got the hot information. My man is here to bless you with nothing but knowledge, man.
Real talk.
So I appreciate you for gracing us with your presence, my brother. Thanks for taking the time. Any artists out there that's looking to take your game to the next level, you might have the talent, but you need a little bit more help in the business area. This is your guy right here.
That's it. Tap in.
Tap in.
Tap in. And quote me on everything. Quote me on everything. I want anybody who can come out of the woodwork and say that anything that I'm doing is not up to par and up to standard. I don't know what I'm talking. Please, come. Let's talk.
Challenge.
I accept all challenges. All
The Hot
challenges.
Seat Podcast right back on your ass, man.
That
Thanks
part.
for tapping in. Make sure you like, share, and comment. Follow my man Chris Star, aka Steezley, in the building.
Yes, sir.
Tap into the song camp, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned for the, what is it called?
Off the Grid.
Off the Grid.
2.5 deluxe edition. Off the Grid 2 is already out, so go get Off the Grid 2 right now.
And thanks God
Off the Grid
I made it
2.5.
to Benny the Butcher.
Yeah, look out for that. Go get y'all's tickets,
going
man.
crazy, all right?
I'm big up in the whole family, bro.
Oceanside in the building. Let's
Oceanside in the
go.
building. You know what I'm saying? This is San Marcos Escondido. Y'all know what it is. 78 stand up.
Let's go. Yeah.